This video is brought to you by Gamersubs. Use code MHB at checkout for 10% off your next order. We're back on that LEGO Platinum grind, and I think it's about time we finally tackled the IP that got me into these games to begin with. That's right, it's time to platinum some LEGO Star Wars titles. Now, as I said in previous LEGO videos, I love actually going out, buying, and building LEGO sets to satisfy the child within who never really got any sets. Outside of some outliers though, my collection is pretty much just LEGO Star Wars. I'm a lifelong Star Wars fan, I love the pairing between them and LEGO, and yeah, I love the games, and have ever since I picked up LEGO Star Wars, the video game, for the first time. I've played them all. Well, except for one. For whatever reason, I never played LEGO Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars, and I don't know why, as I enjoyed the film and the series this game is based on. So I figured since at this point it's tradition I play some Star Wars games for May, I know, I'm a little early, why not try and challenge myself this year? Can I platinum all 3 LEGO Star Wars games, that's all that have platinum trophies, so complete Saga, before the end of May? This way I get both my LEGO and Star Wars fix, and also can completely cross out a category of LEGO games I want to platinum. So, of course, if I'm going to start from anywhere, it's going to be the only game still stuck on the PS3. As always, if you do end up enjoying the content, be sure to like the video, comment below some more platinums you'd like to see me tackle next, subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos, and go over to twitch.tv/MayorHairBear if you want to see some of these platinum journeys live. Now, this is my 4th LEGO Platinum journey at this point, so I figured I had this whole thing nailed down. Until I saw the guide over on PSN Profiles. Apparently, LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars ranks at a 5 out of 10 in terms of difficulty, requires the usual 2 playthroughs, and takes roughly 30 hours to complete. Oh, and apparently has a ton of missable trophies. If you're like me, this is a red flag all over, as LEGO games are usually pretty chill experiences. 2 out of 10 difficulty, no missable trophies types of affairs. But as I said, I'd never played the game before, so I had no clue what I was getting into, and yeah, I'll rip the band-aid off. These numbers simply don't add up. There's nothing missable, there's nothing all that difficult. This is a pretty standard LEGO Platinum experience with some unique modes that I'll touch on later. Anyway, guide and brief panic aside, we dusted off the PS3 once more, booted the game up, and away we went. Step 1, as always, was to simply beat the story mode. There's 49 trophies in the Clone Wars, and for completing the story that begins with the battle for Geonosis, and then goes on to follow the Clone Wars film and episodes from the first 2 seasons of the show, as we hunt down Count Dooku, Ventress, and General Grievous, we're guaranteed to unlock 19 trophies, not including the 3 bonus levels which I'll get to shortly. As always, this step you can kind of speed run through and just learn and enjoy the missions. If you want to try and grab the true Jedi status in each level, go for it, it is possible, but much easier later down the line. Outside of the story missions though, we did unlock a few more trophies for doing things like destroying an enemy building with a proton torpedo. Great shot, kid. Completed a level without dying and not using the invincibility red brick. The Force is with you, hey, that's the beat a level without dying. Mowed down 100 droids with the clone chain gun. We really did say no prisoners. I don't know what that is for, but I'm sure I'll explain it in the video. And managed to deploy our 500th clone trooper. Attack of the Clones. So, make that 23 trophies done and dusted by the time we'd wrapped up with the story playthrough and made our way over to step 2, which was a little more all over the place. You see, for step 2, I typically jump straight back into the levels and through free play go for the remaining collectibles, which are pretty simple here. All we need to do in each level is obtain the 10 minikits and reach true Jedi status for grabbing enough studs in every level. Back to basics, which I really like. However, I wanted to complete the bonus levels before doing that. I then immediately got sidetracked by what I feel is the Clone Wars' coolest feature, the ground battles. Ground battles remind me of a blend between Battlefront and an RTS, where we need to go around a map capturing command points, building up our bases, and taking out all the enemy buildings. These surprised the hell out of me in the story, and I had a lot of fun with them there, but there is actually a specific mode in the game revolving around this gameplay mechanic called Republic and Separatist Assault, where we need to conquer the galaxy as both factions. First one, then the other for 2 trophies. So that's where I went initially, making my way through the Republic side as you only need to capture 8 planets. This allowed me to unlock a trophy for hijacking 20 enemy units. Finders Keepers. Not sure what that is for, but that's PS3 trophies for you. I have no clue. It's a guessing game. But I quickly realized I hadn't actually unlocked all the missions to be able to complete this mode just yet. But trust me, we'll get back to it. So I went to our first bonus level instead, which is unlocked simply for beating the game and is available right from the map. Zero Tolerance. Then it was time to leave the comfort of the Republic to make our way over to the dark side. Landing on the Invisible Hand for the first time. Got a bad feeling about this. And quickly finding and purchasing Count Dooku so I could defeat Anakin. There we go, twice the pride, double the fall. Now, in the in-between of completing missions or Republic and Separatist Assault, I was making sure to use those hard-earned studs to buy the characters roaming both ships, especially on the Invisible Hand as we were lacking on those baddies, and of course we needed those 18 red bricks, in particular trying to snag those stud multipliers, invincibility, and super speeder, which I'll get back to later. Anyway, outside of all that busy work and exploring the Invisible Hand, we managed to find the final 2 bonus levels, grabbing a miscellaneous trophy in Hostage Crisis for disguising all our characters as Senate commandos. There we go, blending in. What a rotter. Sure, as long as I get paid. That's all the levels done, finally. With the bonus levels finally complete, that meant free play was finally on the board. But Hostage Crisis unlocked more side content with the bounty missions, which we need to complete for another trophy. So straight into it I went, and I like this mode a lot. You get a time frame to find certain targets, you're thrown into a level, and on the clock you need to try and figure it out. Some of these are tough, and in the beginning I was struggling, but once you get the general gist, these are cool little speedrun-like missions that are a welcome mix-up into the formula. Thank God. Isn't negotiation the Jedi way? Scared that one was, I had to do something I wasn't aware of. But with our bounties taken care of and our new darkside characters under our belt, it was time to free some more villains from lockup on the Resolute, making sure to buy each one as you free them. The dark side I sense in you. After that, we went back to the ground assault because I'd finally unlocked all planets through completing the bonus levels and freeing those prisoners. So what does it take to, well, take over the galaxy as both the Republic and the Separatist? Well, the easiest way to go about this is to complete the Republic side first. That way, we just need to win 8 battles to snag the trophy, and at this point, I just had those final 2 planets. Simple enough, even managing to finally get Yoda to take down 5 enemies with a single saber throw. Saberang, there we go. Admiral of the Fleet. Alright, now we gotta do it with the Separatist. On the Republic side, 8 planets, that's fine. On the Separatist end though, we gotta double it, and after that, back as the Republic, we gotta complete the 8 planets we didn't do, just to make sure we don't miss any of the gold bricks. Which, side note, as I haven't touched on them yet, gold bricks are just for completing, well, everything. Complete a level, find all minikits, all true Jedis, and each ground assault on both sides on each planet. So in total, we need to play through all 16 planets twice for ground assault, and this is where the mode lost me. It just feels so tedious to the point that without the super speeder red brick, you'll be doing this for hours. It's a great mode that I really enjoyed, but they overused them for the 100%, and they don't change enough from mission to mission. At least on my way through the Separatist side of things, I managed to use the radio ability 50 times, which I thought meant 50 commands, but you just need to have a squad follow you 50 times, which should have happened a lot sooner. Oh, cool, field commander. I needed one more for that. Take that. Viceroy of the Fleet. After that headache, I needed some quick and easy trophies to soothe the soul. So in goes the second controller, loading into the arcade battles, and with the second remote, destroying their own base for a quick and easy win. Do that 3 times, and boom. There we go, they'll never see us coming. That one was nice and easy for us. Then going out into space and performing 5 of each trick in a ship, and there goes another one. There we go. It ain't like dust and crops, boy. I finally managed to buy all the droid characters. Clanker Collector. Oh, that was the last droid I needed. That was an accident. Busy working on the damn red bricks. Collected the final red brick. Cheat! And with those stud multipliers, went to the remaining levels that were missing a true Jedi check, loaded in, and within a few seconds had enough studs to tick them off the list. Jedi Master, there we go, let's go. And it was from this point I went back to the story missions in free play to find all 220 minikit pieces. I did have some miscellaneous trophies to keep an eye out for, like using the Force on a super battle droid to take out 50 other droids, which for some reason in certain missions these fools do not lock on to nobody. Uh-oh, is that it? Oh my god. Yes, let's go. Thank goodness. That one is a pain. That's a deceptively pain in the ass one, especially when they don't lock on. And somehow only just overheated and destroyed 50 gold items. There we go. Goldie blocks. But free play is always a good time, fully exploring each level, seeing what secrets are hidden around, how they've hidden the minikits in unique ways, and some of these are seriously awesome. This is so cool. But after 4 or 5 hours with the help of the minikit detector, of course, we finally found all 220 minikits, and the end was in sight. Oh, that's all the minikit pieces done, thank goodness. Come on, where's that trophy? Hello, PlayStation. I swear to God, man, if I've missed one somehow, Okay, a presence I've not felt since. Ugh. The Clone Wars might have some of the best minikit rewards to boot because each level is a character you can purchase upon completion, and I love that most are the classic old school LEGO Star Wars figures. This was dope. But with this we unlocked all the clone characters. Oh, that's Django's army. There we go. So that's all the clone characters. Bought Lando Calrissian and went out into space, only to come right back and land for a quick trophy. There we go. Lando Calrissian. Calrissian, more like it. And now for the final collectible to grab our glorious 100% status and platinum trophy. It's time to talk about the gold bricks, of which there are 130 to acquire, and as I said, they're basically for completing something in the game. And at this point, I was still missing 16 of them. So what was left to do? We still needed to complete the space missions, which saw us travel to each planet, and with the right ship in hand, go into the space between the 2 cruisers and gather studs through destroying shit. Most of these are a piece of cake, but you need to know which ship to take out to avoid the pain of leaving and then coming straight back. But again, most can be done in less than a minute. Some of these can suck an egg. But with our final mission in space complete, we got our last gold brick. You'll see if that gets us to 100%. Stealth wealth, that's for all the gold bricks. And with all 130, we made the final ship to notch us up to 100%, and the Clone Wars Platinum Trophy was ours. Impressive, most impressive, and the Platinum, the chosen one. And that is LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars in the books. Now we've just got 2 more to go. So, after 24 hours in total, 6 hours better than the guide, I am just in the elite of the elite at this point. What did I think of LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars Platinum and the game in general? Let me talk about the game real quick, because as someone who had never touched the game before now, I am so glad I played this game. It adds unique modes, the story was actually unique, not focusing on just the movies for once. The collectibles are actually worth collecting, and there's so much content here that just feels fresh for LEGO Star Wars, and I loved it. Now the Platinum is pretty good as well, but what really lets it down is how much tedium is involved in those ground assault missions. Again, the mode I actually actually think is awesome and a fresh spin, especially level-wise in the story that breaks up the standard formula. But doing it 32 times just with a different coat of paint, yeah, that ain't it. Outside of that though, and some finicky space controls, I had a lot of fun with this platinum, and I'd love to see another LEGO entry in the Clone Wars, especially now that the series is complete. Like a Skywalker Saga-esque game, but taking us through the highlights of all the seasons. But for now, that's one down, two more to go, so make sure to stay tuned for the next one. But now we move on to a game I remember enjoying well enough, but its existence definitely confused me, being one of the few LEGO games based solely off of one movie. LEGO Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Again, this was a title I enjoyed well enough back at release, being swept up in the hype of the beginning of a new trilogy of Star Wars films, but it didn't leave a lasting impression on me, just beating the story mode and moving on shortly after, so I was interested to revisit this one and see what the game is like to play today, and of course, how that platinum stacks up with the rest of the LEGO games. Now, at this point, this being my 5th LEGO Platinum, we know what to expect going in, but for those who don't, according to PSN profiles, The Force Awakens ranks a 3 out of 10 in terms of difficulty, takes 2 playthroughs, and roughly 24 hours to complete. Pretty standard for the series, but again, as I said, I did play this one at launch, meaning I wasn't starting from scratch with this game, already having 22 out of the 50 base game trophies, mainly just for beating the levels in story mode and some other bits and pieces. So to make up for that head start, and because I got lucky with a pre-owned copy of the game, I was going to complete all 4 of the DLCs in the game as well, taking us to 70 trophies total. But where do we start? I hadn't played the game in almost 8 years, so I sort of just loaded up my save file and waited to see where it put me, which was straight into one of the new adventure levels. You see, in The Force Awakens there are 10 base game levels, a prologue and epilogue, and 6 new adventure levels, which flesh out the events in between parts of the film. So that's where I was plopped into, and I figured it was as good a place as any to reacquaint myself with how this game works. Completing Poe to the rescue. Never tell me the odds. Alright, that's the first trophy in like 7 years. 8 years even? God damn, it's been a long time. Alright, we're locked in now though. We are locked in. Lor San Tekka's return. Traveled too far, seen too much. And Rathtar hunting. Used to have a bigger crew. Before taking a quick break to farm up some studs. This was the wildest thing about reloading this save and seeing how I approached LEGO games before versus now, because I had bugger all studs to my name and they're sort of important to buy all the characters and red bricks. Thankfully, there's a quick and easy way to get millions of studs fast, and that is by playing the level on the Millennium Falcon by the chessboard, which has us control several monsters and take out waves of enemies. Doing this a few times allowed me to buy the stud multiplier red bricks, and I quickly got more than enough studs to last me through to the end of the game. Now, my next step wasn't to go and complete the remaining 3 new adventure levels, mainly because I didn't have enough gold bricks to access all of them yet. Again, gold bricks are unlocked for completing levels, getting true Jedi or mini kits, and also found in the open world for completing side missions or just in the world. So I decided to go into free play and grab all the mini kits in the main 12 missions, from the prologue all the way to Luke's Island, which gave us some more gold bricks and a couple of trophies for collecting all mini kits in a level. Just a scavenger. And by pure accident, as Kylo Ren, force freezing another character. Stop. Kylo time. We'll get back to free play soon, but with enough gold bricks behind us, it was time to play the remaining 3 new adventure levels. First, the Crimson Corsair. The Crimson Corsair. Then travel over Tau. Hello, were you looking for me? And finally, the Ottogan Assault. It's a trap. It's true, all of it. Is that, yeah. All the new adventure levels done. That was finally all the story complete, in the main game at least. But I did quickly have to go back to Rathtar hunting to snag the only remaining true Jedi I needed for collecting enough studs, which with all the stud multipliers happens in seconds. The new Jedi will rise. Now, I'm not sure my thought process here exactly, but for whatever reason, instead of tidying up the remaining levels in free play, I decided to mix it up and start completing the 4 explorable planets in Takodana, Dakar, Jakku, and Starkiller Base. This is where a bulk of the gold bricks are found, as well as various side missions from races, rebel and first order missions, scavenger and bounty hunter quests, etc. There's quite a lot to do and see in The Force Awakens, and compared to the Skywalker Saga, which is a rant for another day, the planet completion aspect is actually something I thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, it took me less than 2 hours to complete Takodana and Dakar, nabbing the trophy for creating a custom character in the process. Cool. Crypto Surgeon. And a big part of that is because all the side missions are either on the same planet or immediately teleport you elsewhere to quickly complete. Again though, a rant for another day, but Skywalker Saga butchered that part. Anyway, with half the planets complete, most of the levels done and dusted, it was time to step the trophy hunting into hyperdrive, because in the next 2.5 hours, we jumped from 33 trophies to 61. But how did we get so much done in such a short time? Well, it was mainly thanks to the DLC being very generous with its trophies. There's 4 DLC levels with 5 trophies apiece. One for completing the level, for getting True Jedi, for collecting all mini-kits, and the other 2 are more varied from level to level. Now trophy-wise, some of these levels aren't that interesting to go over, like the First Order Siege of Takodana or Escape from Starkiller Base. I got 4 out of the 5 trophies in the story playthrough, just needing the mini-kits to clean up in free play. Those beasts! I shall deal with her on my own. We must have the girl. I'll remedy that immediately, sir. On your wing, Epsilon 6. Crush the First Order. Another textbook landing. Hey, that's not yours. Time to earn your passage, R3. I loosened the lid. The Phantom Limb is probably the fewest trophies we got through the story mode, just the 2 for completing the level and getting True Jedi. We are in quite a predicament, but at a terrible cost. But in free play, we went off, killing all swarmers with PZ-99. What was he programmed to? Oh, okay. So I must have just got one stolen from me at the start, that's fine. Playing as Poe and BB-8. Here we go. Thought we'd never find you. While we were switching characters, doing some miscellaneous trophies from the base game, like defeating Kylo as Vader. Show me, grandfather. Having Kylo and Han Solo in the same party. Family reunion. And defeating Finn with FN2199. There we go, traitor! Before grabbing the final mini-kit for the level. I retrieved the information. Poe's quest for survival though was my first experience with a bugged trophy, as I got through all the usual trophies except for one. Quite the marksman. Kinda like to get back to work? Who's gonna pick that stuff up? A use for scrap. All I needed to do was avoid all the speeder traps in the first part of the level. I did this a solid 5 to 6 times before I found a solution that worked, which was simply to restart the game and hope it works. What the f is going on? I should have gotten this by now. Give it another go, I guess. I don't know why this trophy's not popping for me. I'm not hitting these traps. What is wrong with this trophy, man? What the f is going on? Oh, greatest pilot I've ever met. There we go. Holy crap, why was that such a pain in the ass? Before we leave the DLC though, I do just want to quickly say this. Maybe this opinion is because I didn't have to pay for the DLC thanks to someone not using their season pass ticket, but I really liked these new levels. We get to see unique perspectives like the First Order attacking Takodana or the rebels trying to escape Starkiller Base. We get some fleshing out of what the hell was going on before and in between events like with 3PO's red arm or how Poe got off Jakku, and it makes for some fun levels. levels. They are really short though, again taking me around 2.5 hours to not only play through the story, but also complete it in free play. So if you aren't as lucky as yours truly, make sure these are on sale because I don't know if they're worth the full asking price. Anyway, with the DLC done and dusted, it was time to head back to the main game and grab this platinum. I decided to knock out the remaining miscellaneous trophies for doing things like playing as classic Han Solo and Chewie on the Millennium Falcon. Chewie, we're home. Playing as Unkar Plutt on the Falcon. Oh, it is in alphabetical order. I'm a dummy, man. How did I only just realize that? There we go, Unkar Plutt. Hey, that's mine! Completing a free play level as Chewie and Maz Kanata, which I got simply by selecting the final checkpoint in a level and save quitting back to the menu. Alright, let's see. Does this work? It does. I like that Wookiee. There we go. Nice and easy. Destroyed all the computer terminals in the Starkiller shield room, which I'd heard can be a pain but got my first try. There we go. Anything else? And used a hat dispenser to put a Stormtrooper helmet on a small minifigure. Little short for a Stormtrooper. Now, all that was left was to complete the remaining levels in free play, snagging our final red brick. Alright, this should be, just have to buy the red bricks we just found, so... Red Leader. And ultimately finding all the mini-kits in the game. I can fly anything. And then it was on to Jakku and Starkiller Base to complete those planets. These are much bigger planets than Takodana or Dakar, taking me a good 3.5 hours to get through both, but again, these are good fun to complete. Exploring the planets fully, finding gold bricks, characters, completing side missions, it was a blast, and on Starkiller Base, the final planet, is when we started getting some trophy reward for our effort, completing all bounty hunts. He's no good to me dead. All scavenger missions. 60 portions. All races. Less than 12 parsecs. All first order missions. Bow to the first order. And all resistance missions. A big deal in the resistance. All that was standing in our way for 100% completion was to complete the bonus level, Starkiller Destruction, which is a fun little blow up everything type of mission, and now we just needed to head to Dakar to unfreeze all our hidden characters, and the platinum was mine, after a good scare because why not? So many characters that I'll never use because I've finished the game. We should have gotten the platinum right there. Maybe I've got to quit out and come back. Because I have 100%. There we go. Okay, good. The Force is strong with this one. And the Force Awakens. Gave me a little jump scare at the end there, which wasn't necessary, but yeah, overall, that was pretty fun. So, after 27 hours in total, past Jimmy really let me down on this one, but hey, only 3 hours more than the estimate, I'll take it. What did I think of LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens Platinum, and the game in general? Again, this was a game I wasn't expecting much from. I didn't remember much about it from 2016, and I took that to mean it probably wasn't very good, but I was completely wrong. This was a great time to play. It still confuses me why just this movie got an entire game, but I think they pulled it off really well. The levels are good fun, the new adventure levels flesh out the in-between to great effect, and the DLC was a blast as well. In terms of the Platinum Trophy, nothing about this one really bothered me. I mean, I could have done without the bug trophy and the platinum delay at the end, but outside of that, this was such a smooth ride, which isn't always the case with these LEGO Platinums. Yes, some of the content like the side missions can get repetitive, but I think mixing the free play in with the planet completion really helped on that front keep things fresh. It was a great time from start to finish, and the time just seemed to fly by while grabbing the platinum, which is always a good sign. I can honestly say, if you haven't played this game yet, you should change that. It's a shame we never got a Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker game, because TT Games made for a way better experience here than the film it was based on. But anyway, that's 2 down, 1 more to go, so make sure to stay tuned for by far the biggest LEGO grind we've ever embarked upon. But in the back of my mind, I knew what was to come. You see, LEGO games typically are pretty chill platinums to go and grab. They don't take too much time, and they're pretty simple to boot, if not a wee bit repetitive. The Skywalker Saga, on the other hand, says to hell with all that, how do we torture those pesky completionists? I know, we create the largest LEGO game to date and fill it with thousands of collectibles. That'll take upwards of 60 hours to complete at a minimum. Yeah, this isn't a beat around the bush type of intro. I unlocked the Platinum Trophy in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and I seriously think it took a piece of me with it. But for those unaware, what is the Platinum journey like for the Skywalker Saga? Well, according to PSN profiles, the Skywalker Saga ranks a 4 out of 10 in terms of difficulty, requires the usual 2 playthroughs, and should take a whopping 100 hours to complete. Yeah, that's the big difference this time around. The Skywalker Saga, true to its name, is enormous for a LEGO game, as it takes us through the events of all 9 main movies with the prequels, originals, and sequels trilogy, and has you venture across the galaxy with 24 explorable planets to boot. That's 46 trophies in total, 45 levels to complete twice at a minimum, 225 minikits to obtain, 135 level challenges, 380 characters and 123 ships to unlock, 19 data cards or red bricks to find, and the big one, over 1100 kyber bricks or gold bricks to find and collect to top it all off. There's 1200 in the game, but you don't need every single one to get the platinum. You can skip at least 30 of them. Yippee. This is the biggest grind I've attempted since getting back into trophy hunting in late 2022, and right now it's not even close, so sit back, relax, and let's relive this almighty grind that we started back in November last year. Now step 1 is still business as usual. Make your way through the story and enjoy. Again, there's 45 levels to complete, 5 levels per movie, which took me roughly 14 hours to get through, unlocking 10 trophies for completing each episode.
The Phantom Menace. Attack of the Clones. Woohoo! Revenge of the Sith. A New Hope. One of my off-stream games. Trophy. Woohoo! Return of the Jedi. The Force Awakens. Here we go, Last Jedi, done. The Rise of Skywalker. And it's true, all of it.
But of course, that wasn't all we unlocked during this time, as I also got the trophies for earning 17,000 studs. Random number, but okay.
Ooh, first trophy. Alright, that's an interesting trophy to get, but we'll take our first trophy.
Complete all level challenges in a single level. Don't worry, we'll get back to these shortly.
Okay, another trophy for something.
Got a combat multiplier of 30.
Fuck, I don't like you either.
Achieved True Jedi in a single level.
Think you're some kind of Jedi?
Defeated 3 enemies with a single explosion.
Harder than Puppy gets just... Ooh! Trophy.
Shot the helmet off 50 enemies.
Ooh. Who gave you permission?
And completed a flight level without dying like the pro gamer we are.
I can fly anything!
Later that same evening.
Did I know what the I'm supposed to be doing? I was not paying attention when we did that last thing. Only 5 hours, 20 minutes? I mean, who knows when I'll finish this level, dude? I don't know what I'm doing. There's this car, but I don't know where this car wants me to go. I wasn't paying attention to what, like, the last thing I did was. I think I was talking to chat. We'll say that's what I was doing. Yeah, definitely feeling stumped by Child's Puzzle. I think that pretty well sums it up.
Don't mind that. The LEGO games really make me question my own intelligence at times. So after 14 hours, we'd finished the story and collected 17 trophies to boot. And this is where I have to make this very clear. The Skywalker Saga, from a casual perspective, is easily one of my favorite LEGO games. I love the Star Wars universe, and I'm never going to be upset about reliving that childlike wonder of playing through the prequels and original movies, and that was no different here. The story mode was a blast to get through and was something that did put myself and chat in a bit of a goofy mood.
That was the funniest fuck. Ah! That's like the dude, that dad crying. I still love you. I sent you my R2D2 attempt as a voice message on PlayStation. That's not bad. That is not a bad effort.
It's just how I visualized the complete saga being back in the day, and even the sequels, which I have no real interest in watching again. The Force Awakens is alright, but goes downhill quickly from there. They still made playing through those movies a lot of fun. I say this now because I will be very critical of the game later on from a completionist perspective, and just want it to be known that I can easily recommend playing this game to most people, again from the casual perspective of playing through the story, because it really is great nostalgia to re-experience some of these iconic moments in Star Wars Legoified. Anyway, with step 1 complete, it was time for step 2, which is a bit different to usual. We needed to begin the stud grind with the ultimate goal to obtain the trophy Only One Business in the Galaxy, for earning 10 billion studs. That's right, it's back. To do this in the most effective way possible, you need to grind the levels Stay on Target in A New Hope, or a Skip and a Jump in The Rise of Skywalker, as both are absolute gold mines for farming studs. They're both flying missions that just rain studs from start to finish very quickly. The cycle is basically do the mission enough times until you have the funds to buy one of the stud multipliers, which are not cheap here, needing 443 million studs to grab all of them, and grab the massive times 3,840 stud multiplier we need to make worrying about studs a thing of the past. I did most of this grinding off stream, accidentally grabbing 2 trophies in the process for grabbing all the mini kits in a level, and destroying 100 TIE fighters. But with the stud multipliers obtained, I figured we'd jump into step 3, considering there's still plenty of studs to be obtained naturally to get to 10 billion, so into free play we went to complete all 45 levels again. Now, free play changes the most from game to game. Some have multiple types of collectibles, some just have the one. Here in the Skywalker Saga, each level has 6 Kyber bricks to obtain. 1 for completing the level, a total of 3 for completing the True Jedi requirements and grabbing enough studs in the level, 1 for completing the 3 level specific challenges, and 1 for finding all 5 mini-kits in a level. It sounds like a lot more to do than usual, but really they halve the mini-kits and True Jedi is a staple. However, the new addition, at least in my own LEGO experience, are the level challenges, and these do inflate the free play runtime quite a bit. Each level has 3 challenges to complete, and in your run through the story, you'll probably get at least 1 done per level by complete accident, maybe even completing the challenges your first time through. The challenges themselves, for the most part, aren't too difficult to grab, but they can also be a pain depending on if they're tied to specific moments in a level, and with no chapters inside missions, if you mess it up, you gotta restart and try again, which is frustrating. But again, like everything in this game, with enough time and patience, we got through it. Another 14 hours later to be exact. Just before the 30-hour mark, we finally started seeing some reward for our effort, creating 25 disguises as a hero character.
A little short for a stormtrooper. Oh my goodness. Thank Christ, we finally got a trophy.
Achieved True Jedi in every level.
Ooh, trophy!
Completed all the level challenges.
This should hopefully be the last section. How did I get hit by a TIE fighter before? Alright, no more training do you require.
Collected all mini kits.
Woohoo! You needn't worry about your reward.
And with one final run through the flying mission, obtained our 10 billionth stud.
Stay off the stream, you get 3 trophies when I'm done, when I'm gone. That's just a coinkadink, as we get another one. See? We got one while you were here.
And after 28 hours, that concluded our time with the levels and ready to move on to step 4, the grindiest step of all. Step 4 is our final step, and remember those 24 explorable planets I talked about? Yeah, it's time to complete them. So what does this entail exactly? Well, each planet has varying numbers of things to do, but in total we need to collect and complete 1100 Kyber bricks, which, to put it in perspective, when you complete all the levels 100%, you end up with 270 of those 1100 Kyber bricks. 140 side missions to complete, which will unlock the ability to buy all the characters and ships you need. That's right, they don't unlock by completing the quest. And 10 galaxy challenges, which usually involve finding something on each planet like the Wandering Wookiee or completing a shooting gallery, whatever it may be. It's a lot of stuff to do, and this is where I just need to rant, because Traveler's Tales, this ain't it. The galaxy cleanup, while having some fun moments, is mostly just pure filler. Now, the Kyber brick collecting is just pure and simple brain rot. Most planets have upwards of 30 in a section of the planet. That's right, planets like Tatooine, Coruscant, and Naboo have 2 to 3 big ass sectors, which would be awesome if they didn't also have over 70 Kyber bricks per planet at least to collect. Not to mention, most of them are the exact same to collect on each planet. Some are just in plain sight, some need you to stand on different switches, some need you to shoot targets or just climb up really high. Very few feel planet specific, and I'm not saying you can't have them at all, or that some aren't a good time to try and figure out how to grab, but it's just way too much. That's not even to mention the bigger pain in the ass that I'll get back to in a second. But brain rot, I can go into zombie mode and just power through. It sucks and I will call it out, but the fact is we've all played games with more or less meaningless collectibles, and that's the Kyber bricks, just due to volume alone. However, that's not my biggest issue with the galaxy completion. No, what I cannot stand about this grind is more so related to the side missions. Now don't get it twisted, the side missions are usually the highlight of the planet's completion. They're a good goof, some of the boss battles are really unique and a good laugh, and if there weren't 140 and maybe 70, eliminating the repetition of some of these missions like the space battles or go find this person, I'd have no real complaints. The issue is, and again this ties into the other collectibles too, they don't just involve the planet you're on. A lot of these missions have you trekking across the galaxy to complete or aren't even unlocked at all because you haven't found a specific Kyber brick or completed another quest on some other planet. It's this needless back and forth that is so infuriating and genuinely feels like padding in a game that already has a stupid amount of samey things to do in it. I just don't get this decision to lock things off because, oh, you haven't completed something on Naboo yet. Yeah, I'm trying to complete this planet I'm on now and then move on. I don't want to go back and forth with all these planets to complete them. It's the old adage that more isn't always better. Quality over quantity, which some developers just don't seem to comprehend. This game could have had half the collectibles and missions and been way better for it, and I'd be here glowing about how I want more LEGO IPs to get this treatment. But now I need to always add the caveat, oh, I'd love it if they did a LEGO Middle-earth like the Skywalker Saga, just with less meaningless crap in it. Anyway, that's my rant done. Back to the Platinum, we began the galaxy grind going after Camino, as it's one of the smallest planets, fully upgrading a character class in the process.
Bing! Raw Untamed Power. Rishi Maze. Alright, that's the first of the galaxy grind done.
Then moved on to Kashyyyk.
The Slice. Hey! Complete all events on Kashyyyk, and that was a really easy, galaxy.
And it was after Kashyyyk in January when I put this game down. I was roughly 35 hours deep at this point and I just needed to play something else. Apparently a lot else, because it took me coming up with this challenge for May to finally sack up and decide to go back and finish what I started. And this is where I just locked in. Yes, it was tedious crap that was boring me to tears, and I was determined to get this done, if for no other reason than to know I don't have to look at any more LEGO or Star Wars games for a good long while after this. Mainly LEGO. Maybe Star Wars can make a reappearance soon. I managed to finish all the Gonk escort quests, and I wish I recorded the mission on Exegol because that is a peak side quest.
Gonk! Oh, it's beautiful.
Completed all events in Dagobah and Endor sectors. I'm saying sectors, by the way, so I don't look silly mispronouncing some of these planets. It may get repetitive, but it's better than me trying to say Aktu or Kef Bur, more like Kef Brr.
Western Reaches. Unknown Regions.
Finished all the Jawa's questline involving the faulty droids, which in turn soon after helped me complete all events on Geonosis and Tatooine.
Hey, what are you trying to push on us? The Arcanus sector?
Used some Jedi mind tricks before I left to make 5 people fight in the cantina.
Ah, cool. Jedi business.
Rode all creatures in the galaxy. Not that way, you perv.
I've never seen a real one. Ride all creatures throughout the galaxy. Thank goodness, because some of these were saying to go back into the levels. I'm like so far past the levels.
Collected all 19 data cards, which can I say, not as useful as the typical red bricks outside of the stud multipliers and collectible highlighter.
Woohoo! What have you done with those plants?
Completed all events in Bespin sector.
Greater Yavin? Javin? We have a Yavin. Maybe it's Javin.
Collected 1,000 Kyber bricks, which is weird given you need over 100 more to completely level up each character class.
You may fire when ready.
Completed all events in Naboo and Coruscant sectors.
Trailing sectors. Ooh, the interior. Oh, right. We finished this part of the galaxy. I was not even paying attention.
And with one more sector remaining, we started really getting trophies and quick. Finally having enough of these stupid Kyber bricks to fully upgrade all the character classes.
Woohoo! Power. Unlimited power.
And with the final race of 38 across the galaxy complete, completed all races, completed all events in Yavin 4 sector, and completed all of the events in the galaxy.
New territories. There we go. Complete all events on Cantonica, Yavin 4, and Ajan Kloss. And see you around, kid. All the events in the galaxy done. The fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy. Okay, that's all the races.
But we weren't done just yet, even though that would have been a dope way to grab the platinum. Who doesn't love a final parade of trophies? No, first I needed to actually buy all the characters I'd gone through the trouble of unlocking. Again, unlocking the privilege to buy, which while studs are no issue at this point, still, why?
Oh, hello there.
And that just left the galaxy challenges between me and this game's godforsaken platinum trophy. Again, there are 10 challenges to complete in the galaxy, and most are just for finding something. For example, the Wandering Wookiee is on all planets and capital ships, mouse droids need destroying, or these stupid lizards that should be the new eye exam technique. They're so sneaky. But all I had left was one shooting range mission left to complete. So I went to space, summoned the Trade Federation capital ship, and pretty comfortably beat this shooting challenge. And after 79 hours, the Skywalker Saga's Platinum Trophy was finally mine.
Do or do not, there is no try. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Oh my fucking good lord. Thank Christmas that is over.
So, after 79 hours in total, still 21 hours better than the guide, but at what cost? What did I think of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga's Platinum and the game in general? Well, I think I made my thoughts on both clear, but just to reiterate, I know all of our attention spans do be suffering these days. The Skywalker Saga as a game from a play it and put it down perspective is one of my favorites from Traveler's Tales. The levels are good fun, I never get tired of reliving these awesome and even not so awesome movies in LEGO, and the gameplay is a big step up in the series. I actually used the blaster characters primarily for once, and that just goes to show how much better that aspect is. I'd love to see more IPs get this type of treatment, like Lord of the Rings, Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, whatever, because the foundation is solid for more games like this from the devs. They just really need to work on that completionist side of things. The Galaxy completion is just too much filler content for the sake of extending playtime, and it's a miserable experience with moments of joy. Again, if you halve the so-called content on these planets, or just make them more unique from one another, and get rid of the meaningless back and forth, then I'm not sitting here having a bitch for half the video. As a game, absolutely, I recommend playing the Skywalker Saga, but from a platinum perspective, don't touch it. It's not worth it. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far into the video, make sure to leave a comment with a simple get well soon to let me know that you made it to the end, and I just need it after this whole thing, if I'm honest. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave it a like because it helps let me know that you enjoyed yourself. Comment below some more games you want to see get platinum next, as well as answering what's the biggest grind you've endured for a platinum trophy or 100%. Thank you to all my channel members for that extra level of support, and special thanks to those in the Bear Club: G&T Papi, Jackie White, Nugget, Darkwolf, Daniel Fitzgerald, Scott Unwin, Steel Vanguard, NPO Crusader, Zafado, Nef, and Marcel. It really does mean a lot to me. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Go give my socials a follow if you fancy at MayorHairBear. Join the Discord server to have a chat. Go and chuck me a follow on Twitch if you want to see some of these platinum journeys live, or MayorHairBear VODs if those pesky time zones don't line up for you. And I'll catch you all in the next video.